Alright, Horror Hounds, and welcome to an episode of This Just In. Today we're going to be kicking off the Halloween series. Going to be doing the ins and outs on this one as well for my reviews. Just a little backstory. I'm not a huge Halloween guy. I like Michael Myers and all, and I like a few of the movies. I have not watched all of them yet, so some of these are going to be first time watches for me. We're going to see how they hold up. I have a bad feeling about some of the older ones, so we'll see. I've heard a lot of bad things. But today we're going to start off with the crescendo of them all, 1978's Halloween, written and directed by John Carpenter. This might be my favorite John Carpenter film. So, Halloween is the quintessential slasher. It's known as the one that kind of kickstarted it all. It is not the first slasher, but it is the most influential. Thanks to Halloween, we started to get a huge craze following that in the 80s of all sorts of horror slashers, which ended up giving us the likes of both Jason and Freddy Krueger. Freddy was quite a few years later, though. Jason was almost a complete ripoff. So, starting with the things that I am in on when it comes to Halloween. Alright, so the first thing is the theme. How can you not talk about Halloween without talking about John Carpenter's theme? Everybody knows the Halloween theme. It is probably the most famous Halloween score. And I don't just mean that for the Halloween movies, I just mean in general, if you pick up any CD back in my day when I was younger, if it was a Halloween one, you always get the Halloween theme. Everybody knows it. People who have never seen Halloween know it. Also, not just the score, but also Michael Myers. Obviously, he is an icon. He's transcended just the Halloween franchise. He's been in cartoons. I don't know if he's been in any TV shows, but I do know that there's been a lot of homage to the Halloween movie. And that iconic mask, the William Shatner hair kind of just ripped out a little bit so it looked a little bit different. Painted that thing white. And that's all she wrote. The Halloween mask became infamous from that point on. And the jumpsuit. So in this movie, Michael is very, very good. Nick Castle played him in this one, and he had that perfect little walk. It wasn't too fast. It wasn't too slow. He didn't run. He just walked. And you see him a lot kind of in the shadows, and the way that the movie's shot, it kind of makes him seem mysterious but off-put. And in this one, he has no motive, except for he wants to kill people. That's all that we know. He wants to kill people, and that's the best part about Michael Myers, is we have no extra motive. We have no extra backstory. He just is trying to kill. Along with Michael Myers in this movie, I would say another in for me is all of the acting. I can't think of a movie where there's been as many people who just play their roles perfect. You got Jamie Lee Curtis, who was a famous, famous final girl, as Laurie Strode, and she would reprise this role many, many times. We'll see about that as the movies go on. And she played it very well. Also, we got Donald Pleasant playing Dr. Loomis. R.I.P. to Donald Pleasant. He played the character role perfect. And he's probably been the most consistent part of the movies going through them. He was the perfect Dr. Loomis. You couldn't ask for anything better, to be honest. He just had like a gravitas about him. And he just fit it. Like you watched the role and it was just believable. He played every line and everything as perfect as you possibly could. And the last thing for me that's going to be a in for this movie is going to be the setting. I like Haddonfield. I like this small little town. It looks like what Halloween would look like, and every movie has tried to pull off the look of Halloween when they have a Halloween setting. Whether it's movies, TV shows, they all follow this type of theme, which is why this movie is so iconic. The things that I'm mixed about in this movie. The kills, rewatching it now in 2022 when it came out in 1978, this movie has, I think, zero blood in it. which is, some people will say is a testament to the movie. For me, I like my blood and gore, so for me that's just mixed. I do think the kills are fun. He does a good job killing his sister right off the bat in the beginning. We love that POV shot where you're actually looking through the mask so the holes are showing. I thought that was really a really cool directing choice by John Carpenter. I love the kill where he picks the guy up and he stabs him through the chest, and then it just shows him hanging there. And then the other two kills are more like strangulations, where he kills the two girls, one in the car and the one with the telephone when she's on the phone. So the other part of the movie for me that is mixed is the pacing. This is a very good movie, I'll give it that, but for me the pacing is a little slow. When I rewatch it now, I feel like it kind of drags a little bit, which is probably a product of its time. Back in the day, it didn't seem like it was dragging. But now in 2022, when everything's more fast-paced, we're used to our movies kind of getting into it and getting good, and that's kind of what I like about slashers. This one just kind of has a little bit of a stretch of a doll from the first kill until you get into the actual night where he starts doing some more killing. And my negatives for this movie. There's absolutely nothing I'm out on this movie. I don't see anything bad about this movie. The acting's good. The way it's shot is good. Michael Myers is good. The kills are a little bit lackluster, but they're still inventive and neat. They kind of pack a punch for not having any blood, so there's still a testament to the kills. So I can't pick one thing that I'm out on this movie. It's a masterpiece. Everybody knows that. This is the slasher. When you talk about slashers, this is the one that people talk about the most. It's the original to a lot of people, even though it took some beats from Black Christmas. And we had Texas Chainsaw Massacre before that too, but this is the one that made them popular. So my overall rating on this movie is, I give it 4.5 stars. I know it sounded like I was going to give it a 5 because there's nothing wrong with it, but when I do my rating, I like to think on rewatch value. And I do know that because I'm not big in the Halloween series, I do not grab this film very often if I'm in the mood to watch a Halloween movie, which isn't that often. I don't know why. I don't gravitate to Michael. But all in all, I still think it's a great movie. It's obviously been hailed as one of the best. There's not much more I can say about it other than that. So, if you can give me a like, subscribe, leave a comment down below so we can talk about it. Maybe you can convince me that Michael Myers is much better than some of the other ones that I like. Hit the notification bell so you get when my next video airs, which will be Halloween 2. And we'll see you guys on the next video. Rest in peace.